Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing about how to how to perform different operations with the variables like creating, redeclaring it, assigning multiple values to it, assigning single values to it, performing concatenation, deleting a variable. So we will see all these different types of operations with respect to variables. But before that, let us look into variable definition. So what are variables exactly? Like how you will define it or what does variable do? Okay, so variables are like they serve as a container for storing data values. Like whatever the values you will assign to a variable that will be stored in a container or it will be allocated to a memory space, right? So memory space is allocated automatically without the need for explicit declaration when value is assigned to a variable. So when you allocate the memory space, okay, when the memory space is allocated, it will store a value. That memory space is allocated to store a value, right? And if you change that value, a different value will be stored in that particular memory space. So this is now let's go through like how we can create it. Like practically we will try all these things. So in order to try this practically, so marks is equals to, let's consider 89 we are putting. So I have created a variable named marks and we have assigned 89 value to it. Now let's consider student name, right? And it's Alia. I'm giving it Alia here. Student name is Alia. And now let's consider items. Now in items, now let me put as XYZ, PQR, GHG. Like I've just put random values here as items. And now let's try to print it. Print marks print student name and print items. So you people can see directly here that once you have assigned this value to the marks, once you assign the name to student name, once you assign the values like items to this items and you're printing it, you will get the same output, right? So this is how the things are. This is how the things are. Now let us try redeclaring a variable. So okay, first of all, initially let me put this particular code. This was like how you can create a variable or how you can define a variable, like create a variable, right? How you can assign the values to a variable. So this is how we can assign the values to a variable. I have just showcased here assigning the different type of values. Here it's integer, here it's string, then here is like a list kind of a pattern, list kind of a pattern here. So this is how you could assign like different, if you want to assign a dictionary also, for example, if I want to mention here as a dict equals to, and I'm just assigning something like this, like key value pair. So, and if you try to print that, then that too will be printed, something like name, and I will be putting as Henry, and it's like key value pair. And if I want to put something like age, here is 56. I want to print. Let me print. Oh, print Henry. Okay. Yeah. So why it's giving error? Because oh, Henry is not defined. Okay, it's a string. So let me define it as something like this. Run here. And you can just see that the same thing has been printed here. Key value pair, like a dictionary, which was like I have put it into brackets, and that too is being printed here. In the output, you can just clearly see here, like name Henry, age 56, 89 Alia, and XYZ wala items wala part. This particular is being printed here, right? So now let me put all this comment in multi-line because I don't want to use it. Once you put this in multi-line, it will not be executed. You will not see any output regarding this particular part. And let's use new one. So new one is like I'm just redeclaring a variable. Like for example, I will just declare it as 7. X is equals to 7. I have assigned the value 7 to this variable and I'm just printing here X and you can just simply see this 7 is being printed here, right? Now it's a comment. Okay, instead of using this as comment, what I can do is after print run, so this is X is equals to 7. Now to the same variable X, a different value is being assigned and that one is being printed. So you can just simply see the output which was 7 initially for that X, now it is Sarah, right? The output is being replaced with a different value named as Sarah. as I don't want to use that particular code again, so I'm just commenting it so that it will not get executed. We don't need it right now. Now what we will be doing is that we are assigning same value to multiple variables. So let's consider A, B and C, and I'm just assigning 90 to this value, and I just want to print A. Now let me print B and let me print C. I just want to check here like what it is showing to me. You can just clearly see all the values are printed and the value is same for all the variables because we have assigned only a single value to all the variables, right? So now let us consider, like for example, if I want to apply more values here and set equals, okay, and let me print this values. Print xyz. So once you print xyz, the different values are being assigned 90, 90, 90. This is 90 above and the next three 90. All right. So now let me put a multi-line comment. A, comma B, comma C. A, comma B, comma C. Now what is this? You are assigning the different values to the multiple variables. Different values to the multiple variables. Now you are assigning the different values to the multiple variables. Different values to the multiple variables in the sense, for example, to the A, I have assigned the value 5. To B, I have assigned the value of float type, right? Like decimal point, float type. C, I will be assigning something string like value. Okay, for example, let me write here shift in the C part. And let me print all of them. A. Okay, let us print both the ways A, B, C, and let me try this also. You can just try simply printing A, then print B and print C. Five, 78 and shift, right? And the other values which are also printed like A, B and C, those are also printed as 5, 78 and shift, right? So what we have done here is like before putting multi-line comments on this code so that it will not get executed. Let us first understand we are assigning the different values to these variables and trying to print it. Now let us try, like we want to concatenate and print the value. So how to use the concatenate with the variables and print it? We will be trying that. So first name, like I want to put as king. Okay, let me put as king. And last name I want to put as David. Print so what we have done here is, you know who was King David? King David was the one of the greatest king of Israel, who started his journey from being a shepherd boy to the greatest king of Israel. He was King David. So yeah, we have assigned the first variable as first name and assigned the value king here, and the second variable assigned as the last name and assigned the value David here, and then we are trying to print it along with the concatenation operator. So let me run this code, and now let's remove the space. Right, so what we have done here is, initially I have when we put the space, you can just see the space is visible between this King David. Once I remove the space is not visible between this King David. So that is how, I have made your concatenation of your first name, then slide space, okay, slide space, and then the second variable, which is the last name. Now for example, consider x is equals to 189, right? Now I want to print this x. X is equals to 189 and print x. So what is this? We have created a variable and we have assigned 189 value to this variable. Now let's consider, I want to delete this variable, right? For example, I want to delete this variable x, right? And then I want to print it. Okay, I created the variable, I assigned the value 189 to it, then I'm using this deleting a variable, like I'm deleting this variable, hence I'm using delete x, and then I'm trying to print x. So let's check what is happening. So here you can see name error, that name x is not defined because x doesn't exist, because we have deleted this x, we have deleted this variable, so it doesn't exist. So it will not give you the value 189, right? So initially it was giving, I guess, 189. Yes, it is being printed, but later it didn't give you any kind of a value. Cleared? Right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for the today. I think what we have seen it, we will recap it. Okay, so what we have discussed so far in creating, we have created a variable with different values like integer, string, list, dictionary. We have seen all these things. Then we are assigning the values, right? What we are doing here, we are assigning the different values to a variable and trying to print it. Then we are assigning a single value to these many variables, these number of variables, single value we are assigning, right? Then we are assigning the different values to the multiple variables all together. Here we are assigning uh, to the different values we are assigning single value. Here we are to the different variables we are assigning different values and we are trying to print them. And what is happening here, we are trying to concatenate two variables, okay, using space in between, using concatenation operator. We are trying to concatenate the two variables, like two values of the two variables. And here we have created a variable, then we are trying to delete then we are trying to delete their variable and we are trying to print it to see that what happens, whether it gives you the output or not, whether it gives you the value output or not, because initially it gave you the value, right, when you were trying to print it. But when we have used the delete x or the delete operator, delete keyword, not keyword, but yeah, the delete part, like when we try to delete the variable and try to print it, then it is showing that x is not defined, x doesn't exist because it is being deleted, right? Yeah, so this is all we have seen in this video, and in the next video we will be discussing about many more things in the Python regarding the Python programming language. So we will meet there. That's it. Thank you for today.